Do you think it's hard for people to understand your value offensively and how much you work as sort of a fulcrum and a facilitator along with Steph in that offense?
For sure. I think it's very hard for people to understand because most of the time I'm passing. And by the way, I'm not just passing the ball to get an assist. There are guys who just pass the ball to get an assist. I'm not that guy. I'll swing the ball to you and tell you Tommy's open. Like, yo, over there, here, over there. But that's just how I play the game of basketball. And so for me, I was actually telling the guys yesterday, the power of a swing pass. Not, I catch it, I survey, I need to do this. The power of simply catching the ball, swinging it the other way, or catching it in a simple dribble handoff the other way. In your mind, it may look like nothing's coming out of that because you didn't score right off that immediate action. But what it did was it made the defense change sides of the floor. Because as you know, every defense in the NBA is good if you play one side of the floor. It's once you start switching sides of the floor and now all of a sudden the low man is now the strong side corner man. And he gets lost, and the low man who was over there strong side corner forgets to pull in, and he's lost. That's when you can really dissect a defense and pick them apart. And I think for me, whereas I am, people see the assist and they say, oh, he's the main facilitator. It's not only that I am the main facilitator, it's that I, not so much to Steve Kerr's liking, just stand at the top of the key. And when I get the ball, I'll reverse it and change sides of the floor. And I think that's the biggest difference. And then also, obviously, Steph has to do a lot more off the dribble when I'm not playing, as opposed to he doesn't have to be on the ball as much when I am playing because I kind of shoulder all of those responsibilities. And so the same shots that he normally gets when I'm playing off the catch or off the move, it's not as simple because that's kind of my role on that team is handling those responsibilities and allowing him to freely move.
What you're talking about is shifting the defense, and I totally agree with you. If you play to one side, most defenses can guard that. It's shifting to the second side, back to the third side. Perhaps no team has done that better in the last 7 or 8 years than you guys. I actually really enjoy one little nuance that you guys have is the pointing. I mean, we were at the game last night. I watch you guys a ton. Obviously, I played against you as well. But and you're the master at this. And the pointing and knowing where Steph is, knowing where Clay is. It's not necessarily point to him, we're going to pass him the ball now. It's point to him, let's get the ball there, then there's another action, then he can come off. How much of that, obviously you from playing 7, 8, 10 years now I should say, but 10 years with Steph, but how much of that are you teaching on a daily basis to guys coming into the program?
Often. Like you said, on a daily basis.
It's not intuitive.
It's a learned skill. You can't just expect guys to walk in and know it right away, which is why consistency has been important for our roster. You see in the years that we had great teams, there wasn't much turnover on our roster because the consistency and understanding those nuances allows Steph to be greater. Understanding those nuances allows Clay to be greater. It allows me to do more of what I do. And so it's very important to teach the guys that because when they first come in, it's a disaster. And we laugh about it every year about a guy not understanding because the reality is it takes about at least half a season for guys to really catch on like, oh man, I just swung the ball as opposed to me standing here, turn my head and pin in because I got Steph coming out of the corner because he's just flying around. It takes a little while to figure that out. And so I'm always teaching because I am like the coach on the floor for us. I'm always teaching guys how to find him, what to do when we're pointing out there, and nothing drives me more crazy than sitting at home right now and not being able to point in direct.
Being the floor general, yeah.